And then when we have these natural disasters, how do we rectify it as a society? We get a young Swedish girl with a twitchy eye to tell us off. And Greta gets up there and she's like, I should be in school. I know. As soon as I mention Greta Thunberg, that's a triggering thing for a lot of women. And in your brain right now, little loops going on, and you're going, how dare you pick on a 16-year-old girl? Who the hell do you think you are? You know what? You're right. That's wrong. But she's 19 now, and I fucking waited. I waited 3 long years to talk about this shit. I can say whatever the fuck I want about a 19-year-old. Here's one for you. I can Greta Thunberg and I've done nothing wrong. And I wouldn't use a condom either. Out of respect for her and the environment.
In an age where outrage is currency and virtue is a branding tool, Greta Thunberg has become the perfect icon for a movement more concerned with optics than actual solutions.
We're going to be the first generation that future generations are jealous of, right? Because we had it all, and we're using it all up. We're using up all the fresh water. We're using up all the fossil fuel, right? Usually you look back in history and you feel sorry for it. You go, oh, how did they live like that? Oh, how did they get around? No indoor toilets. I've got 9 toilets in my house. And sometimes I just run around flushing them for a laugh. Just so that in 40 years' time, Greta Thunberg has to shit out of a window. I've got 28 radiators. I always have them on full. Then I put the aircon on full, and it sort of settles at about 20 degrees. Lovely. It's how the cat likes it. She loves it at 20 degrees, and I spoil my cat.
Branded as the fearless voice of a generation, she's been trotted out to UN panels, protest stages and magazine covers like a climate-conscious action figure. Just wind her up and let her yell.
How dare you!
Never protest Saudi Arabia or Russia. You only protest Western energy. Why have you never criticized Vladimir Putin or OPEC?
Yeah, I've never done that. Never, ever.
Well, will you do so now? Will you condemn OPEC energy?
Let's be real. Greta didn't rise to global fame on merit alone. She's not an environmental scientist. She hasn't written any policy. She's not a climate engineer. She's a teenager who went on school strike and gave an emotionally charged speech that captured the hearts and marketing departments of every NGO and politician looking for a fresh face to shield them from criticism.
Who was that, like, save the whales, like, kind of like, you are
Elliot
not
Page?
Representing us. You are not speaking for us.
Oh, Greta Thunberg.
Greta Thunberg.
What happened to her, by the way? How old is she now? Has she got an OnlyFans?
I don't.
Okay. Oh, 22. All right. She's of age.
Oh, we're going to hell.
I'm
But hey, we're
sorry.
going together. Dude,
Well, she got a solar-powered vibrator. I
remember?
bet. Check out my carbon foot fetish.
Crazy, bro. Are you always this funny? This is the you've changed my life today, dude.
Want to push a green agenda without facing tough questions? Slap Greta on the front and dare anyone to disagree. The moment you do, you're labelled anti-science, anti-youth, or worse.
Do you have a message for Greta Thunberg, and did she come up on your call with the Prime Minister today?
Well, she's a strange person. She's a young, angry person. I don't know if it's real anger. It's hard to believe, actually, but she's certainly different. Anger management. I think she has to go to an anger management class. That's my primary recommendation for her. I think Israel has enough problems without kidnapping Greta Thunberg. Is that what she said? She was kidnapped by Israel?
Yes, sir.
Well, it's enough problems without kidnapping her. Perfect time for Ask a Jew. Does Israel have enough problems without kidnapping Greta Thunberg?
They do have a lot of problems that don't involve Greta Thunberg.
Is there research that shows, has she always said her name that way? Because I feel like somebody else just said Thunberg. Is that how you say it now?
Maybe it's kind of like sort of when Coke did a rebrand. You just have to get on board with it.
Well, I think the world needs a lot of more young, angry women.
Basically, he said that, he said he was reacting to what has been said about Israel capturing you. He said, that this is not, they've not been kidnapped, so Israel doesn't need that right now. And he said, Greta Thunberg is, I quote, a young angry woman, she needs anger management sessions?
Well, I think the world needs a lot of more young, angry women, to be honest, especially with everything going on right now. That's the thing we need most of.
This isn't about the climate anymore. It's about theatre. It's about adults hiding behind a child to virtue signal their way into headlines. Greta is used like a puppet, not a person, paraded in front of cameras while the same leaders and organisations cheering her on are jet-setting to luxury climate summits and clinking glasses at Davos.
Greta Thunberg. She's getting on a boat to Gaza, complaining basically that the people of Hamas aren't getting dessert. Because let's be clear, nobody in Gaza is starving. If a single child had ever died of starvation, you know that Hamas would be carrying that child in front of every television camera. CNN would be salivating. They would be interviewing the parents. Nobody is dying of starvation. They've been claiming starvation since October 8th. Sure, they wanted to give out some dessert and some medical supplies. Israel said, fine, we'll take the supplies through Ashdod, town on the shore of Israel, just north of Gaza, and we'll distribute it. But we don't have to let you go in and make a propaganda display in Gaza. And so they've detained them, and they're going to, deport them back to whatever country they came.
What's ironic is how quickly Greta went from grassroots to global brand. There are PR teams behind her, professional speechwriters, and a whole army of handlers ensuring that the message stays on brand. Climate change may be real, but the authenticity of this movement, that's up for debate.
Barbecue sauce on my teeth. Oh, I'm so sorry. How dare you! You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words.
Listen, I'm glad that Greta can at least take a joke and make fun of herself. It is really trippy, though, to see her as a real person. Like, I feel like I'm in some kind of, time warp. For so long, I feel like she was, in my mind, like this puppet that the elites put into place to be like the climate change girl. And I'm like, oh my God, you're an adult. She commented too, which is so weird, and said, help, how did this get so many views, LMAO? Like, why is Greta talking like this? Like, go back to giving speeches. That's so weird.
If the goal was to spark honest conversations about sustainable solutions, innovation, or the economic costs of environmental policy, then the Greta Show is the wrong venue. What we've got instead is emotional manipulation masquerading as activism designed to guilt you into silence.
Greta Thunberg is fading as an impression. I have a 4-second impression of her, a 15-year-old high school kid lecturing the world. How dare you? How dare you?
She is not representative of her generation, who love to blame us. You wrecked the world. Yeah, you're doing it differently, like you're not driving.
We're going to try to get to the renewables when they're practical and they can take over fossil fuels. Everyone's a Republican when the lights go out.
Right.
Everybody.
The problem isn't Greta herself. She's young, passionate, and probably believes what she's saying. The problem is the adults in the room who should know better. They've turned her into a political shield, a walking slogan, a human bumper sticker for climate guilt. And that's not activism, that's marketing.